Can you guess what video we're doing today? Get into it. Let's get into it. Oh. That time is my favorite time of the month. It's time to pick my new books for my physical TBR, and October is one of my favorite reading months. I feel like you get to read lots of spooky books, fantasy. It's just one of my favorite months in general, so I am so excited to show you guys the ones I just picked out today. I actually just went through and picked books on my physical TBR because I feel like I've had a lot of books that I've just been accumulating, and I've been like, I'm gonna read that in October. And just fantasy books, thriller books even, that like I've just kind of been putting on hold because I wanted to read it during the spooky season itself. So yeah, I'm not doing my TBR jar today. We're gonna put it on hold until November, but it will be back. Today is just being, it's a mood read. It's my selection. It's my books. I have to read them. Too bad. You guys don't care. I know, I'm just being dramatic. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm saying this is the first book because it looks so out of place, and also it is the book that I'm planning on starting today, and that is The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. This book is about a bunch of, I don't really know too much about this book. People who get this sudden small box that holds your fate. It has the exact number of years you will live, and it's basically about society coming together, all of these people from different backgrounds learning, kind of having this very similar experience, and it seems very interesting. This was actually, I'm actually borrowing this book from my mom. She just read it and she loved it, and so I'm really excited to read it, and I've decided that I'm going to read it now because we're actually going on a trip to Chicago together in the next 2 days, so I'm trying to read it before she comes. She's actually coming tomorrow, and then we're leaving the next day to go to Chicago. So I'm so excited. We're gonna go to lots of bookstores, so make sure that you guys are subscribed so you can see the haul that I'm definitely gonna have. But yeah, I'm so excited to read this one. She really liked it, and my mom has just recently gotten into fiction. She's been more of a nonfiction reader for most of my life, I feel like. So the fact that I can like lend her my books and we can talk about books together, and we just have like more similar taste in books now. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go book shopping together, and I'm excited to read a recommendation of hers and see if I like it. So this book looks just about as old as it is, and that is The Mirror of Her Dreams by Stephen R. Donaldson. This book is from 1986. It's quite an old book. I really don't know too much about it. It follows a girl who is just in her apartment, just normally in her life, and this man suddenly shows up in the reflection of her mirror, and she's so confused. All of a sudden he breaks through, he's in her room, and he's talking about some kingdom that needs help, and I think it has fantasy elements. It's giving The 7-Year Slip, if you've read that one, by Ashley Poston. I'm really hoping I enjoyed this one because it's been on my shelf for a while. It's giving kind of spooky fantasy vibes, and I've just really been wanting to read it for a while, so I was like, what better time than now? And honestly, this one might be one that I don't finish in October just because it is super long, and it's not necessarily on my priority list for the month, but I do definitely want to at least start it, and if it carries into November, that's fine. But next book we have, I actually got in Chicago last time I was there at a small bookstore downtown. It's not a small bookstore, but it's kind of like a little hidden gem because it's like in a different building. It's called Exile and Bookville, if you guys are in the Chicago area. It's so cute. I love that bookstore. I've been there a couple times now, and I really like it. And I got this one there, and that is Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott. They are living 2 different lives. They don't really speak or see each other very often, but when they learn that they are getting an inheritance, they meet up. I think that it's gonna be like money or something, but it ends up being this house, Thistlefoot, which is a house on chicken legs. I'm really not sure about too much more. I think it follows like different adventures, and I'm pretty sure that the house can move, as it kind of looks like on the main cover. This book just gives the right vibes for fall. I love these kind of like cute, it has this very like kind of naive nature. It kind of gives like a children's book vibe, but also not, like the writing doesn't necessarily. So I'm really excited for this one. I've been anticipating reading it in the fall months, so I can't wait for this. Atonement by Ian McEwan. This book I've never read. This book is a beloved classic. I think it's set in 1935 during the World War II times. It is historical fiction. And I only know this book from watching the movie adaptation. I can't ever say that word. When I was a kid, I grew up watching this movie. I loved this movie. It has James McAvoy, Keira Knightley, Saoirse Ronan. This movie was so pivotal for me when I was a kid, and I just saw it at the book sale, and I was like, I have always really wanted to read this book, so I'm so glad that I saw it there. And yeah, I am definitely anticipating this one. I'm trying to read more classics too, at least like one a month, so I feel like I'm gonna love this because it's just so interesting. It follows a family during World War II, kind of sibling differences. It has a little romantic element, so I'm excited for this one. Yay! The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I feel like I am so ready to finally read this one. Fun fact, I have read most of, but not all of the Throne of Glass series. I feel like I've been reading these books since they came out, but I kind of stopped after Queen of Shadows, I think. And I actually never read The Assassin's Blade, which is really sad. It's technically a collection of novellas, and it's not the first book, but a lot of people read it as the first book. You don't have to, but I feel like it's time that I finally get into it. I feel like it follows a lot of backstory of our main character, and it gives you a lot more insight into the rest of the series. So I'm planning on reading this one, and then I'm going to collect. I don't actually own anything but Heir of Fire, I think, which is really weird. Don't ask. I don't know why I only have that one. I think it was just like I read the other two from the library, and then I was like, I want to start buying the books, so I just bought the third one. I don't know. Anyway, I'm really excited to read this one and to jump back into the rest of the series and finally finish it. Finally gonna finish it at some point, guys. So we're starting with Assassin's Blade, and we're continuing on from there, and we'll just see how much we can read, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure we'll not finish that series this year, but we'll carry it into 2025 and just read it whenever we can. Maybe one book a month, maybe two. Maybe we won't even read one every month. But I do definitely want to keep it on my priority list to finally finish the series, because I've just always I feel like I read it when I was really young, and I kind of just want to restart it and kind of with fresh eyes. So yeah. And we have The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. This book I have been wanting to read for so long. I actually just recently got The Atlas Paradox, so that I can read that after this one, but I'm really excited. I'm actually going to take this one with me on the Chicago trip. I always like to pick one book that I take while I am traveling there, and I am so excited to read this one. I always take the train, so I do have some time to just kind of chill and read while I'm on the way there. So it is when I find some of my favorite books, I feel like, and I usually pick books that I've been really anticipating. So this one, I feel like, I don't know, I just get the vibe, like even just like kind of like looking at the font and everything, I just feel like I'm gonna love this one. So I can't wait to get into this story, and hopefully I like it. We'll see, I guess. As The Dead Things Are Closer Than They Appear by Robin Woisley was absolutely stunning. I love this. It looks so good. Interesting. It looks kind of spooky but good, and I'm really anticipating this one. So I was like, as soon as I saw this, I was like, yeah, that's an October book right there. Yeah, another book that I got literally in the same trip was Anatomy, a love story by Dana Schwartz. That gothic, mysterious, romantic vibe. So I'm so excited to read this one. And yeah, I think that these ones are going to have like very similar vibes, but I'm hoping that I like them. This one is such a highly anticipated book, guys, and I just got it recently, so I'm really hoping I like it. That is Immortal Dark by Tejas Gurma. This one I saw in Target one day. I hadn't even ever heard of this book. I don't know how or why, but guys, I was actually baffled. I think this might be like the most beautiful book I've ever seen. Guys, I can't even, like, it is just stunning. And even like the inside, like, it has all these like pictures and like, I am so excited for this book. I'm pretty sure it's set in like a university maybe, or it's like set in like college, I think. A lost heiress, a soulless vampire, a secret drenched in blood, and it just all seems very much up my alley overall, and I think that I just really have high expectations for this book, so I hope I love it, and I hope it's as stunning inside as it is, like, the words are stunning as the cover, because guys, what? The next book we have is a horror book. This is just straight up horror, and it is The Tuesday Blade by Bob Autumn. This is a very old book. I don't even know where I got it from, but it looks like a very like quick read, and I'm hoping I like it. I haven't really ever read anything like this before, so hopefully it's good. We'll see. Five Survived by Holly Jackson. I've been wanting to read this one for a while, since I've been reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I decided to take a break from the last book in that series and read this one, and I think it's gonna be really good. It's YA, follows a bunch of teenagers, I think, who go to like camp together or something, spring break. I think it's gonna be good, and I really love her writing, so I'm excited to read this one. I am really excited to read all these books. Hopefully I'm able to read at least half of them, because I feel like I do have a lot of longer books and a lot of fantasy books in this one, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited to read this month. I feel like October is just such a cozy reading month, and it's just so fun to get into like all the fantasy books and the spooky vibes. Just like watch movies, drink coffee, read books. Like, that is just the vibe for October. It simply is. So I'm so excited to share my reading journey with all of you guys, and hopefully you guys subscribe and tag along for all of the books that we're going to be reading, and the haul that we're definitely going to get from my Chicago trip. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!